Mathew, 87.6. Always a pleasure to talk with Mathew Dickerson, Tech Stuff. Morning.
Hey, good morning, Andrew. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
And Matt, the important question this morning, have you been getting some free stuff in your mail?
Well, I haven't been getting free stuff in the mail, which I'm quite happy about, which sounds a bit strange because it sounds like a great thing, get some free stuff in the mail. But there's a term for that, and it's called being brushed. So it's not your hair, it's not your teeth, but there's a scam that's going around at the moment where you get sent some free stuff and you think, fantastic, I got some free stuff in the mail. Usually pretty small stuff. It used to be Bluetooth speakers or just some things that are fairly cheap, a toothbrush maybe, which seems a bit strange. And the latest product that people are being sent is seeds, packets of seeds. And you think, why are people sending me seeds? And so it's a pretty complicated process. But if someone's trying to get the ratings or their reviews up on their site that they're selling things, they'll actually impersonate you. They'll send you some stuff and then they'll log on as you and do a review, 5 out of 5 stars, great service, fantastic company to deal with. And all it's doing is trying to get those reviews up to the point that people are seeing your company more and more by effectively having stolen someone's identity and sent them some products that they didn't really want. So there's not a lot you can do about it, unfortunately. If you get some free stuff in the mail, you just go, great, I've got it. I might just contact the company that sent it to me, if it's Amazon, for example, or eBay, contact them and let them know, because when they get a few reports back, they do realise that this is actually happening and then go and contact the company that's sending them out and either shut their site down or take some action against them. But it's a strange scenario there, but it's all driven by the modern version of sitting around the pub saying, hey, go down and see Billy Blogs, he's really good. Now people are doing that online. They say that between 70 and 84% of purchases are influenced by online reviews. So that's what they're trying to do, get those positive online reviews.
All right. That is the most bizarre form of direct marketing I think I've ever heard.
And they often talk about how much it costs to get a new customer. And if you think about the cost in freight and the cost of a few seeds, it's probably a couple of dollars. So if a couple of dollars gets out there and you get some positive reviews from that and gets you a new customer, it's a pretty cheap way to do it. It sounds like not a very ethical way to do it, but that's what people are doing at the moment.
Yeah, because I seriously thought, Matt, when I saw this seed thing, I thought there's got to be some form of biosecurity kind of, someone's put something on the seeds and, you know, sent something suspicious through the mail, because that's what you just assume in modern times now.
Yeah, that's right. And that's exactly what people think. If they get something free, they think, what's the catch with this? Why is it there? And really, it just means that probably your identity's been stolen to not your complete identity, but part of your identity has probably been stolen. They know your name, they know your address, they probably know your email address, they probably know your phone number, and they're using all that to log those reviews. But no, normally, I mean, certainly the Department of Ag has been interested in some of the things like seeds that are being sent, but generally there's nothing untoward in the actual item that's been sent. It's just the fact that they're using your details to give some positive reviews. And you might be unlucky enough to run into someone down the street and say, hey, Andrew, I saw you reviewed some seeds you bought online the other day. And you go, no, I didn't buy those. No, I saw your review, man. I bought some because you bought some as well. So that's the sort of thing they're trying to do.
If anyone sees any reviews of seeds from I have the ultimate brown thumb, can we just get it out there now? It's not from me, but if you'd like to plant some petunias in my name and my honour, please feel free. I will take all credit for those.
Careful what you wish for. You might get too many petunias coming now.
Well, it is spring, Matt.
True. Yeah, just.
Yeah, if there was a fighter pilot dogfight between a human and an AI, who'd win? Now, there are people who have this challenge all the time because they just like playing computer games.
Yeah, that's right. And most of the time we know that if you set the computer game to the hardest level, it's pretty hard to beat it when you're just a normal human just working away against the computer. But there was actually a competition created where they had a few AIs compete against each other. So they had AIs developed by companies like Lockheed Martin, that obviously many people have heard of, and Heron Systems, and a few universities as well. And they all competed against each other to be the best AI fighter pilot as such. And then after all that process was finished, they then actually put that AI up against a real pilot, and someone that's got a huge amount of experience, someone that actually does educate other pilots, so someone that's obviously pretty skilled in what he does. And the AI beat the human pilot 5-0. So it was no contest. And it was interesting because the process was a little bit different the way the human approached it compared to the computer. The computer would just take a random shot whenever they possibly could, even if there was a low chance of actually having an impact. The human would actually try and get into a better position to try and get a shot away that would actually have more impact. But in doing all that, that took more time, and meanwhile the AI's already got him. So it's actually a bit scary, the whole thought about having maybe some stage a future war will be fought by drones up in the air with AIs controlling them. Who's got the best AI? That might be the one that wins the war.
Well, aren't we waiting for Skynet to get online, Matt? Isn't that what the Terminator kind of said?
Yeah, look, you joke about that, but give it a few decades, who knows?
I'm not joking about it. It's going to happen. Mate, look, if Arnie made a movie about it and he made 5 of them, then you know this is going to be legit.
Well, that's right. Yeah, they don't do movies on fiction, do they? It's all real life.
No. It wouldn't be fake, would it? Now, this is interesting, though. Drone delivery, we've got to be getting close to that.
We are getting closer and closer, and Amazon Prime Air have just been given FAA approval, that's in the US obviously, for drone deliveries. And it doesn't mean they've got a fleet of 10 million drones that are about to start delivering packages tomorrow, but it's the next step in their drone delivery process. And so that's, again, an official process by the US Federal Aviation Administration. So they've got that part ticked off, and they can do more tests now. And that's really what this step is all about, doing more and more testing, because their ultimate aim is to get to the point where they can actually do a delivery in a busy suburban area within 30 minutes of you making an order. So here you are sitting in downtown Los Angeles or downtown New York, somewhere where the traffic is horrendous. You click on Amazon, you say, I'll have that packet of seeds, thanks very much. And then next thing you know, 30 minutes later, it's delivered at your front door. So it's pretty interesting. And again, I don't see many drone deliveries being used in places like Mudgee, for example. Just the distances are going to be too great for most drones, certainly in the short term. But around a very busy metropolitan area, I think you'll see more and more of this. And of course, Amazon aren't the first one to get this up and running. You've got 2 other companies that have already been given approval by FAA. Alphabet's Wings, that's effectively Google, and UPS, not surprisingly, have also gone down that path. So again, 3 companies out there given approval. They'll keep working on that, and there'll be a huge amount of development work done by companies supplying these drones.
It's funny, all these online shopping destinations are now turning into like pizza joints.
That's right.
Buy it now, have it delivered in 30 minutes or less, so your order's free.
Yeah, it's quite incredible, isn't it? I mean, in the old days, you'd order something and it'd go through Australia Post. A few days later, you got it. If you got it within the same week, you're pretty happy. Now, if you haven't got it within a couple of hours, you think something's gone wrong.
Hang on, Matt, I've just bought something. Why isn't it here?
Yeah, that's it.
I want it now. I've just bought it.
Yeah, it's an instant gratification society we live in.
I know, right? I know. New Zealand, they've had a cyber attack. Which institution got it?
Yeah, look, a fairly important institution in the whole scheme of things. The New Zealand Stock Exchange has been hit 4 days in a row, and this is at the end of last week. So they're back up and running now, but it just gives you an idea that any organisation, any institution, any department is open to a cyber attack. And a lot of these cyber attacks aren't necessarily trying to steal stuff. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're just trying to make it inoperable. And that can be for a whole range of nefarious reasons, or sometimes it can be people testing out their cyber attack capabilities to see what they can attack, what they can shut down, because they then want to build that information to go and look at it somewhere else. But New Zealand, you think fairly small economy, fairly small country. My guess would be that New Zealand is not the real target here. This is me speculating entirely, Andrew. But my guess is that the New Zealand Stock Exchange is not the prime target. Again, a small country. I think they're probably doing some testing on this, and they'd be looking somewhere to hit a large stock exchange, whether it be someone like Australia, whether it be someone like New York Stock Exchange. I think they've been doing some testing over there and then look out somewhere else in the world.
Yeah, no, it's only a matter of time, Matt. It's only a matter of time.
Exactly right.
You know. Yeah. Now, this is the big tech story of the week. I reckon this is the biggest tech story of the year. Elon Musk, he likes his bacon so much, he's put chips with it.
He's going to put chips with it, that's right. He's got a beautiful pig named Gertrude. I'm not sure if he's going to turn Gertrude into bacon anytime soon, because he's got a coin-sized computer chip in her brain. Now, this is a company or a startup company called Neuralink, which, as Elon often does, he sees a company, likes the look of it, throws a few $1 billion their way. And so he didn't start Neuralink, but he's certainly come in as an early investor there. And the idea is to try and work out what you can do with brain waves. Can you control people, or can you have people control other things? And one of the examples I think which would be fantastic is someone that might have had a spinal cord injury, might be a quadriplegic, for example. Imagine them being able to control a computer with their brain by thinking about something. The real challenge at the moment, which is where they're working on, is working out when you think about turning on Magic 87.6, or think about going to the internet and searching for something, or think about just scratching your shoulder, then what are the brain waves and how do they differ? And so they started in pigs, and they gave Gertrude a bit of food, and then they looked at the brain waves that were generated by Gertrude. Obviously much simpler in a pig, smaller brain, smaller amount of activity than when it finally gets to the stage when they start to put something in a human. But this is the first step, probably decades away, but Elon Musk has this kind of a habit that I saw once in a documentary on Thomas Edison. Edison would come out and make this grand announcement about something he was going to do with, whether it be gramophones or whether it be light bulbs, whatever it was, and then he'd come back to his workshop and he'd say to the team there, right, I've just made this announcement, so how can we make that work? And even though he'd make the announcement and say it's going to happen anytime soon, it'd take several years before it came through. And I think Elon Musk is a bit the same. He's talking about all these wonderful things you can do with brainwaves, and I think they're just at the very early stages of that. So don't expect this to happen sometime in the next few weeks, maybe in the next few decades.
Yeah, this is all part of the New World Order, Matt.
I think
first they're going to phase out money, then they're going to get into your heads, and then you're going to be controlled. If someone's going to take over the world, it's either going to be Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. They're the only ones that have got money. Bill Gates doesn't seem to care because he's just throwing his money around anywhere.
He's given it away now, so no, he's moved on from world order plans. He's moved on to
I know, right? I know. Yeah, he wants to save the world, whereas I reckon Elon and Jeff are going to take over the world. But the one thing that I kind of find interesting in all this is that Elon Musk values a pig over his daughter because he gave her a more civilized name than he gave his own child.
Gertrude at least is normal. Can you pronounce his daughter's name?
I don't even know what it is. X12 alphabet, weird science symbol. Yeah,
I think it's designed to be so that it can't be pronounced by a human tongue. So you can't even say her name properly if you're going true to form. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe there is something in that. I'm not sure that I want to grow up and get to be 18 and say, Dad, why? Why this name?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, right? I had to make a name joke in there somewhere.